Yo! DrinkTigersBlood.com. Hey, look, today I'm headed over to see this very famous entrepreneur who also happens to be a black belt.
I was hanging out with Pablo Escobar. We were good friends, you know? And,
What called are you?
What kept you going for all these years?
I think it was probably the camaraderie.
Camaraderie, yep. When did you make your first million?
I was...
He is a famous writer of multiple books, one being Ready, Fire, Aim. I read the book and I'm very excited to sit down with him. We're actually gonna get to train a little bit and then I get to pick his brain about entrepreneurship, business, jiu-jitsu, how it parallels to business. I can't wait. I think he's a billionaire too. Well, no, I'll ask him later. Let's go. We're here at Mark Ford's office / gym. Little matted space. Got a little lesson in here. See if he can teach me a thing or two. There he is right there.
Let me just warm up then.
Sure.
Still playing? Still playing.
Oops, sorry.
What cold are you?
75.
Respect.
I'm glad to still be here.
Respect.
Yeah, you know, I went to the Worlds like 4 years ago. My guys are like, nobody your age could beat you. Well, guess what? I ran into the guy right away.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. I'm glad, yeah, there is a guy, and he beat me.
That's just part of it.
He was about your size. He's an Asian guy too. And he just became a pull guard, but he stayed low. I don't know what the hell. So he took me down, and it was over. Yeah. Listen, you will edit out all the parts where I look bad, right? Because I know I've done a little movie making myself. I know it could be done.
Yeah. Yes. There we go.
Yeah. Yeah. I always train so much better when he's too young. I first trained with Eric when he was 15 years old.
Oh, okay.
They called him Bogino. It's a big ball,
Yeah.
little ball. And I could beat him for about a year.
Oh yeah?
So he turned 16 and then he got his purple belt at 16.
Yeah.
That was the end of it. Now let's make it look good.
That was a good one right there. That was a good one. When did you start training?
I started when I was 47.
When was
So,
that?
57,
75.
67. So 27 years ago.
Oh wow.
It was right after UFC started. I remember that my father who was a professor of English literature, had nothing to do with sports or certainly not martial arts, but he once told me that a good wrestler was always going to beat a good boxer, which, you know, this is back, he was telling me this was 1958. I was like, what? That doesn't make sense. And so when Brazilian Jiu Jitsu came out, I got excited because I realized it was grappling and I wanted my kids to enroll. So I'm looking for wrestling schools that are not around. Then I'm driving down the street and I see Helson Gracie Jiu Jitsu. I'm like, wow.
Where was this at?
This is right here in Boca Raton.
Oh, Helson was here, huh?
Helson, yeah. So I signed my kids up and then he convinced me to take lessons too. And then flash forward like 9 months, I'm giving one of my kids a lesson and he's out with the secretary somewhere for an hour and a half.
Oh, no.
And I come back and I'm like, is he going to charge me for my kid's lesson? He goes, he charged me 2. He goes, 1 for you and 1 for him. And I'm like, so I have to pay for teaching my... He goes, yeah. He goes, I would have charged you double because the best way to learn is to teach, but I'm only going to charge you.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's the guy.
That sounds like him.
Yeah, but it was good. I mean, he was very good technically. All my young guys that I trained with at the time, we always felt like we got some good fundamentals, but we all ended up, he ended up owing us all lots of money when he left town.
Oh God. Wow. When did you get your black belt?
I got my black belt. Oh, I got a photo of it. I got it about.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, that's right. Whatever that says.
You got it in Brazil, right?
I went to Brazil.
It's actually that.
Who gave you your black belt?
Marcel Ferreira. That's him in the corner over there. He's up. He's up there too in one of these photos. Marcel was.
Okay.
I kind of inherited. I went through a bunch of the different. The first guy, when I did the jiu-jitsu, then I opened up my own, not my own gym, but from my buddies in my old office, and then the guy that was. I've got a lot of stories, so I'll try to make them quick. So the guy that
tell all the stories you like.
It was one of the Silvero brothers, Marcelo, the smaller one. And he was running a gym in Boca. It's called Boca Black Belt. And so I went into him and said, "Look, I'm setting up my place. We all trained under Master Gracie, and now I'm looking for somebody." So he sent over Marcus Aurelio. I don't know if you know.
Yeah.
So Marcus was our first teacher, and Marcus became like my fourth son, like the bad son, the son that's you love, he's adorable, but he just. So his idea was of giving a lesson was have us running around in a circle while he'd be on his social media, and then he would literally forget for 5 or 10 minutes that we were running around the circle. Silvera, he told me, he said, listen, he goes, I know how you are. You see all Brazilians. It's like, he goes, I'm going to hook you up. And then he did. And after that, we had all Boca and Marcel and all these other guys, and they were great. And it's been fun ever since. And now basically what I do is just train with my kind of teacher trainer. I mean,
that's great. I have a student he's a head oncologist. He's been training with for 20 years.
Yeah.
And I give him his black belt, but he's 68
yeah,
now.
Yeah.
And he does 2 private trainings with me now.
Does he? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we roll for like 45 minutes each session, and he tries to kill me.
That's right.
Yeah, but he always comes in and says, "Oh, I'm here for my ass kicking," and man, he kicks my ass. Like that's great. Like at 75 to move around like this.
Well, to me, the great thing is that it's a very good exercise because really, I've just lost a little bit of weight, which helps. I've lost about 30 pounds. But at my age, the toughest part is literally. This is the toughest part of the jiu-jitsu when I come in. Then I get here. Then somehow it's okay. Once I'm there,
yeah. But you know what? The surprising thing is most people can't do what you do.
Yeah.
Most 60, 50-year-olds can't do. Even guys my age.
Yeah.
Like, they can't. They're on the ground. They
Right.
can't get up.
Yeah.
And so.
No, so that's definitely a benefit. I think of it as, like they used to say, to me it's a lifestyle. I get a lot out of it physically, because it's so natural. The other thing for me is I'm training with guys that are basically world champions. Mm-hmm. The chance of me ever defeating them is absolutely zero. So my ego never gets involved. When you get hurt is when like if I had to train with a purple belt, a young purple belt, and just because he doesn't care that I'm 75, old enough to be his grandfather, if he can go back and say he beat a black belt, he's going to do whatever he can to beat me up. And so I don't want to do that. So with these guys, it's just pure fun. I look forward to it the way when you were a kid, you went out to play. Like I come here, it's just pure fun. And of course, if at any point I'm uncomfortable, I just tap.
Sure. You always
So,
have a way out,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Oh,
With him,
awesome.
I have another technique. He thinks I'm funny sometimes, and I kid around, and he's been laughing since he's 15 or 16, so I can still get him to stop without actually tapping. Sometimes he just pauses and laughs. But so you have that. You have for me, I get to be friends with younger men, which I don't have, and you don't realize what a treasure it is because it's like revisiting your past. The struggles that they're going through, the fun that they're having, even like the attitudes that they have right then young that you recognize that you had, and you can kind of calm them down about them,
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, from all those.
Well, what kept you going for all these years?
I really think it was probably the camaraderie.
Camaraderie, yep.
And the fact that like I have trainers, I do regular workouts a couple times a week, but I dread going to them. It's it's pain.
It's not fun.
Yeah, it's good afterwards, but jiu-jitsu I have no problem at all. It's fun all the way through.
How many times a week are you doing training?
I do 4 times a week.
Wow.
Yeah, I do. I train twice a day. At 7 o'clock in the morning, I do a half-hour workout, like a wake-up workout with somebody. It's a combination of yoga, a little bit of sprinting, just to get the blood going. And then in the middle of the day, usually today it was longer, but later, I do either an hour and a half workout session or an hour of jiu-jitsu, and that's more than enough.
That's
Yeah.
Jiu-jitsu is super hard.
Super hard.
It's hard.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd say so. I've been doing it a long time, but still, for beginners coming in, it's hard.
Yeah.
So, and you're obviously a guru at business.
Mm-hmm.
How does jiu-jitsu kind of parallel over into the business world? Does it have lessons that you can learn from?
Yeah, 100%. And they're the same lessons. You can do business the way some people do jiu-jitsu, like try to muscle, try to use a lot of strength.
Mm-hmm.
And if you do that, what happens is that you're going to get very tired. You're not going to be happy with yourself. And every once in a while, you're going to just be turned over and slammed, because when you try to play business that way, it's like you're a bully. It's a bit like when you try to be a bully, what you do is you create a lot of resentment out there. And these are people that are going to be involved in your business life, and you may not even see them, but they can make it more difficult for you in 100 different ways. So my thing about business is always to just focus on, like, I know this sounds like a cliche, but just giving. Just think about giving. I'm not worried so much about getting back, because if you get into relationships with the right person, then you're going to get back. If they're the wrong person, then you move on to somebody else. You don't have to have. So I think there's that is a fundamental parallel between business and jiu-jitsu. And then the other thing is that when you start in jiu-jitsu, like I remember when I was taking my first lessons from Mr. Gracie, he had like 400 techniques on the board and big yellow things, and we used to look at them and go, oh my God, I wonder what that is and what this is. And then you're trying to accumulate techniques because you think that somehow that, but then when you get to a certain level, you realize that, I remember this happened because this guy that I trained with, Lewis, he was a young guy. I always thought I could beat him when we were white belts and blue belts, and I was more like using my muscle, and then all of a sudden, one day we started training, and he was like smoking me, and like there was no contest. And I said, what the hell happened, Lewis? And he goes, well, I realized that there aren't really 400 moves in jiu-jitsu, there's just really like 6. And that kind of woke me up. And the same is true in business, that there are, when you start in business, you want to learn a lot of little things, but as you accumulate those individual bits of knowledge, they start to come together and you see the structure underneath. And then it becomes easier, and you get more into the flow of it.
What you're saying, hundreds of moves. There's only 6, but going more in depth, this is what I was told. There's hundreds of different ways to get to those 6.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So it may seem like a lot,
but once you, like, I'll give you, look, I'm totally still learning. Believe me, and as Eric or any of my friends will tell you, if I was a typical student, they would have like special ed jiu-jitsu just for me, because it takes me a long time to learn anything. In fact, now that I'm 75, not only my body takes a long time to learn something, but I forget like the next day. So
I forget that too, though.
Well, but I mean, I'm bait for a guy who wants to give me individual lessons. He could teach me 3 techniques for 3 years, and I would never realize he's getting 3 because I forget. I'm exaggerating. But one of the things that I do that everybody that trains with Marcel does is deep half guard sweeps, and when I finally got them and I finally started winning a couple of tournaments using the deep half, all of a sudden, like before it was like 6 things you had to do to make it work, and then now it's not that way. All I need to do is see the inside of a thigh. I don't care where it is. If I see the inside of a thigh, I'm there, and then I know I have a chance. So I think it's kind of like that these things come together, and it's the same in business. I don't have to tell myself to rules about making new contacts or about how to negotiate everything. By now you just do instinctively, and so it's much more relaxed, just like jiu-jitsu is.
Do you think the mindset of jiu-jitsu, like in jiu-jitsu, like you just mentioned, is never ending? I mean, again, I've been at this for over 25 years. It's never ending,
Right.
I can see something, and I can learn something from you if you have the open-mindedness, right? I can learn something. You can learn something from anybody, right? Do you see that as the same in business? Like, I think there's some business gurus out there, like, you do this is the only way you do it, like.
Well, you have to understand that when you're marketing systems or ideas, people want to know that their guru really knows what he's talking about. So some people are susceptible to that kind of. The other way, which is a much softer way, is not as convincing at first in the beginning, but once you develop a relationship with that person, or once that person with a softer approach develops a relationship with their students, they tend to stay because they know. My main partner in business for the past 30 years is very, very gentle in the art of business. In fact, most of the time when we're having a meeting with one of our key employees, like after the meeting is over, the guy will come up to me and goes, "What just happened? What did he say?" And he'll go, this will be his range, he'll go something like, that's an interesting idea. Or he'll go, I think you've got something there. And the difference is, the first one, as soon as you walk out, he'll turn to me and go, "Who hired that guy?" And the second one, he's going, "That guy's going somewhere." So very little subtle differences, but no, of course you can always, and I'm still, and in terms of like marketing techniques, you never stop learning. I'm a non-stop, I watch everything that all our competitors do. I see one little trick that is clever. It can be a closing technique. Eric is a salesperson for one of our businesses, and he knows 30 techniques, but there are other techniques that are at a higher level. For Eric, what he has a very natural, relaxed voice. So as a salesman, it's so much stronger than a bully voice. You can bully people into it, but then you're going to get refunds. So there's a million, I think, parallels. I mean, that's how life is, right? It's just everything. You can make parallels with baking, I suppose, if you know enough about it. Yeah.
Sure, but I mean, I don't know. Jiu-jitsu is just it's just different. It brings people together. It brings people together.
Come in between.
It brings people together.
Absolutely, yeah.
And it strips away your status. It strips away the religion, the race, the whatever.
Right.
We step on the mat,
Yeah.
we put our gis on, really doesn't matter. Everybody becomes your brother, right? And
No, it's
everybody
really true, especially today with the world so fractionalized. Like, you know, I have never had a political argument with any of my jiu-jitsu friends. And even though that I know that some of them, even my trainer here, who's Brazilian, and he's a Lula guy. I don't know if you know
yeah, I get it.
So when I see him, I'm like, Lula, yeah. You know, of course, I don't believe it, but
Sure.
but the friendship you have is so much more important.
Yeah.
It's beneath all that stuff, and and there's a great sense of well, look, what you're doing is you're doing martial arts, but you're playing the game where at any one time, at any moment, your opponent could hurt you, either lightly or seriously, and vice versa. So even though you're constantly attacking each other, you're constantly taking care of each other too. So that's a pretty amazing.
I mean, it's a lot of trust.
It's a lot of trust.
You're trusting your partner to take care of you.
And
Vice versa.
you're practicing that 100 times a lesson. You know, I know sometimes when I train with these guys, I'll try something, like I'll try some kind of step around, and then I feel that they just released my ankle, and I know that they've released my ankle because if I kept going, I would hurt my knee. I didn't realize it when I was doing it, but so now they do it just because, you know, they want to get paid. It's not for friendship, but you know. But no, there's a bond. I mean, I had Eric and his brother and Boca and Renato Tavares and who else do we have?
Marcel.
And Marcel, all down in. I have a ranch in Nicaragua, Beltman, and I have a community center too where we built for the local community, and I built a gym there. But in the gym, I put in a jiu-jitsu. I put in mats, so that we could. And we're teaching people martial arts down there. So yeah, it's great. Everything is great about it.
Well, let's do some moves, and then I have some more questions to ask you.
All right. By the way, I have a special rule here. If I touch the edge of the mat, they have to let me go.
That's why the mat's so small.
Now I gotta find out whether he's gonna be nice. He's gonna be too nice. No, he's not gonna be that nice. I'm gonna catch you. The Almighty. We call these deep the Almighty. Because we all came from Marcel, and all students do it, so we say the Almighty can't be defeated. And we also do 10 points for scissor seam sweep.
10 points for scissor seam.
Right? It should be, right? I mean, for advanced guys.
Scissor sweep.
If I sweep you, I get 10 points. He's almighty number 2.
For me?
Yeah. He got his back taken so much in his life that he's a pro at it. $10 points. 10 points.
And the mount, another 4.
All right, he won 10 points.
Great roll, great roll.
Thank you.
Good job. All right.
But that's what I mean. It's just all fun, right?
Sure.
Yeah. And the more you learn, the more you can enjoy it. Like all the different things that your partner is doing to defend, or in my case, to attack, and then he pulls back from the attack. Just
Guys, look. You two at 75 could be training like this. No excuses. No excuses.
Yeah.
I did an episode on Jiu Jitsu Grandma a couple of years back.
Really?
She's, how old is Elaine? 70,
76 now?
76. And she was just at Worlds. I mean, she trains every day.
Wow.
She still rides her horses.
Wow.
I mean, she's a stud. I
She
mean,
competed at Worlds?
Yeah, multiple times.
Wow.
She started training at 69 years
Yeah,
old.
she started training at 69. She's this little thing. She's about
Right.
this small.
So who did she find to compete with?
She actually goes down like 2
She has to,
age
yeah.
brackets.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, to
She
find
fights with like 65-year-olds.
Right, right. Yeah.
You know? Hey, she does good. She loses the match, but she does great. She gets a lot of respect from people.
That's
you know?
terrific.
And
Yeah.
she's all smiles. And
That's great.
one of the
That's great.
greatest people out there. Like
That's
I
great.
really had a
Yeah.
great time. Like spending a few days with her.
That was her choking Kenny out.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
I
that's it.
think I might have read about her. or
Probably
something.
seen her. She's been
Yeah.
around a lot of articles, a lot of
Yeah.
videos, and
Yeah. Is she in your club?
no.
Your
She's
main-
in Alabama.
Oh, I
She
see.
trains with Khalifa down in Gracie Bar in Alabama. And so with the MatMade series, what we do is we travel to different
Right,
cities
right.
where there's amazing stories. And
Yeah.
I'm not saying like, oh, this guy is just a high-level
Right.
competitor.
No.
There's so many out there that,
Right.
again, like,
Right.
with Flow Grappling and
Right.
UFC, Fight Pass, they
Right.
can highlight those
Right,
competitors.
right.
What I want to do is I want to tell I'm into storytelling.
Right.
Like, why is jiu-jitsu so good for
Right.
people? Like kind of what
Right.
I asked you
Yeah,
earlier.
yeah.
Not everybody wants to be the competitor, like you
Right,
said earlier.
Right.
Some people they start training jiu-jitsu because they're dealing with PTSD and they need that
Right.
brotherhood.
Mhm.
Some people are here because they were physically abused and now they want to make sure that they can protect themselves
Right.
and feel comfortable in bad positions.
Right.
Some people are here because they need a community.
Right.
Maybe they're alcoholics or that they have a withdrawal.
Right.
Like this, you have a group of people that have the same interests as you. And
Mhm.
they're like, that's the story I want to tell.
Right.
I want to be able to. My thing is I want to be able to inspire people, connect people
Right.
together.
Yeah.
And the tool that I have is jiu-jitsu.
Mm-hmm.
And it's changed me. MatMade is me. Like it's
Mhm.
changed me. If not, I would be dead or in jail or the same old
Right,
story that
right.
you would hear. Jiu-jitsu changed me to the person that I am now, the things that I have, the relationships that I have, and the opportunities that I have. So I want to give that to other people.
Right.
I was just telling the story. I get a text message from this veteran. He said, I'm army medic. I did like 4 or 5 tours. He said I had a pistol to my head, saw MatMade's story, I put the pistol down. I'm starting jiu-jitsu Monday, I will be MatMade. So when I get text messages like
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
then I know I'm doing
Yeah,
something
yeah,
right.
yeah,
And
yeah.
that's why I want to take this thing,
Yeah,
and be able to put it out to the masses.
mhm.
Because I just think the message is so important.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And maybe it's not jiu-jitsu for them, but jiu-jitsu is a
Yeah,
method.
yeah,
Whatever
yeah.
your jiu-jitsu is.
Yeah. Exactly. Right.
But it's
Yeah.
the storytelling part
Yeah.
that inspires me,
Yeah.
and that's what I love about jiu-jitsu.
Well, one thing that jiu-jitsu has that the striking sports don't have is the gentleness of jiu-jitsu and the idea that it's not, it's the core idea of martial arts is that you're using, technical superiority over brute force and speed. And, what do they say? You counter strength. I you know, there's balance, weight distribution, technique, and timing are what you use, as opposed to quickness, strength, and the natural. So yeah, I think it's more. I think what they could do, what Jiu-Jitsu needs to do, is let people know that it is really a sport where the whole family can do it.
Exactly.
And can, including grandma.
Yes.
And there
women,
need to be,
everybody.
there need to be programs that are more geared to that. Because if you go into a normal gym, especially if you're an older guy, and you see a bunch of 25-year-old guys running around, and then all of a sudden, after you do technique, they go, all right, wrestle. And, I mean, you're not going to put up with too much of that. You work.
It's intimidating too.
Yeah, it's intimidating. You're working you're working long days. You get through your day, and you don't want to have to have the pit of your stomach. Oh, I wonder if that guy's going to be there again. So, but it doesn't have to be that way. It can be very, very gentle, very fun, and some of the kids' programs are terrific.
Yeah.
All my grandkids, they get free jiu-jitsu lessons whenever. If they want jiu-jitsu, they get. I guess 6 grandkids, and
Well, free for them, you're paying.
I'm paying, yeah. Just to give them an incentive.
Yeah.
It's so funny because the oldest kid is a boy, he's 9. He's got 2 twin cousins that are 7 girls. They go to the same gym. They mop the floor with this kid. They practically suplex him, they're squeezing him, but the kid's that age, and he's like, he's not upset at all. It's still fun for him. And then later on they throw the ball around, tag ball, whatever it's called, and the kids love it. So you've got to, I think the way for the business of jiu-jitsu to work with your philosophy is to recognize that it doesn't all have to be just self-defense or wrestling. Yeah.
Or a sport, yeah.
You can do. One of my teachers does. He has a whole system of fitness based on jiu-jitsu, which I'm sure you're familiar
There's a
with.
lot out there.
Yeah.
There's I have a friend out in New Jersey. He does. It's called Water something. And it's the Silver
Right.
Fox. He's
Right.
one of Henzo's guys, but he does whole jiu-jitsu. He has a bad back, and he literally walks like this. But he gets on the mat, he's okay.
Right.
But he has to do his exercise in the pool,
Yeah.
like
Right.
submerged, and he does his drills in the pool, which helps his joints. And so he's actually got a whole curriculum that he puts out. On
Yeah,
DVD
that's
for
what.
that.
Yeah, people should do that and more of that. And just you can do the techniques just to be fit. You don't have to. Eric, you should leave.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Okay. Eric's going down to Brazil. He's competing with Brazilians.
Oh yeah, what tournament?
Brazilian Nationals.
Nationals?
Yeah, Brasileiros. Saturday.
What division?
Masters 1, Super
Master
heavy.
1? Oh, okay. Super heavy?
Yeah, I'm heavy, but I'm going up a division.
Where is it at? Tijuca?
It's, Tijuca, São Paulo. Yeah. First time I'm doing Nationals.
Oh yeah?
How many people did you say are in it?
I think like 65, 70.
Yeah, it's.
The older,
Right.
Oh
you
yeah.
are,
yeah.
the
I
more
remember-
people are signed up
yeah,
for the division.
I
Not
remember,
back in the days, but nowadays.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I remember when his older brother was in the Masters and he was still in the adult division, and Eric used to say to his brother, the adult division that's the pros, you don't complain, you're in the Masters.
Yeah.
But then when he got in the Masters, now he goes, they're the same guys.
No.
The pros just moved,
just as
got 1
serious.
year older.
Back in the days, like Masters wasn't even considered.
Right,
You win the Masters,
right,
you win the
right,
Worlds. It's
right.
like, it's not adults.
Right.
But
Right.
Master 3, Master 4,
Right.
Master 4. I mean,
Oh,
you
it's
got
insane.
guys like Lovato. You got
Shanji
Shanji.
Bill.
You got all these legends are still competing at
That's
that level.
crazy.
And so I don't know. It's actually more fun watching the adult matches. Masters matches because. Some of these guys are just,
Right.
legends of the
Right.
sport,
Yeah,
and it
yeah.
gets tougher
Sure.
and tougher. It's
Yeah, it's like
nothing's
watching
easy.
tennis with, the
Andre
old
Agassi.
celebs. Yeah.
That's an old name. I haven't heard it in a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Good luck.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Yeah, out there.
I have a lot of buddies, a lot of Brazilians that, my teammates are like Samir Chantry, Kishin.
Oh, that's how I know.
That's our team, Aries. Yeah. But
Aries
those
is
guys,
legit.
those guys haven't even competed at Brazil levels. They all competed here.
That's me. I was born in Brazil.
Yeah.
I moved here when I was like 13. I probably competed in Brazil once.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even a large edition tournament.
So this is the first time.
This is the first time I'm actually
wow.
competing in Brazil. I've only done super fights. This is actually the first tournament I'm doing in Brazil. I've always done here, California, Florida, New York. So it's gonna be interesting.
It's fun. I've actually done a couple out there, and I was like, Tijuca in Rio tennis club.
Tennis club.
I was like, man, that's where the world's used to be, you know. And
it's
so
actually it's not gonna be Tijuca. It's Barueri because it's São Paulo.
Where do they have that many in the world?
At Master Worlds, actually, Jiu Jitsu Con, Master Worlds last year they had 11,000.
Wow.
Just the competitors. And every year it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Good. It's good.
Yeah. Well, people are catching on, you know.
Yeah.
Kids, everybody.
So you're doing jiu-jitsu?
Yes, sir.
Where? You had a fancy name, but it wasn't Jeremiah. It was something else.
It is Jeremiah.
Oh, it is Jeremiah. Did people ever sing you the song?
No.
No? Are you kidding? You don't know the song about Jeremiah?
Wait, which one?
Ask him to sing it.
I'm trying to remember. Jeremiah was a bullfrog. You remember that?
Yeah.
He knows that
Oh,
one.
you know that one, yeah. I can't remember but that was like from the 70s, right? Something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're doing jiu-jitsu?
Yes, sir.
Cool. How long have you been doing it?
4 years.
Oh, so you're up there
You got
already.
everybody. I'm just doing it. I got him doing
Nice.
it. Everybody that if you're connected to me, you're training jiu-jitsu.
You're doing it, right.
You can't hang out with me if you don't train.
Yeah. Well, it's funny, like a lot of guys that work for my business are friends of mine from jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
You know, they
Well, you know, like going back, jiu-jitsu reveals one's true self. Like if he's a good guy,
Yeah,
you're gonna be
yeah,
able to see
absolutely,
it. If he's getting tapped and getting mad, and you're gonna be able to figure people out.
Yeah,
And so it's
absolutely,
easier to read people.
Right.
You know, whether it's gonna be your friend or business partner or whatever they are. It really shows character.
There are some of my jiu-jitsu friends who I wouldn't hire because I know how they train jiu-jitsu and stuff.
Yeah. It's I don't know. It's a great tool. I think.
It is.
I know you're an inspiration because not only your business accomplishments, but at 75, that is what I want to be doing.
Yeah.
Like even Ryan, we did another podcast yesterday and trained 59, almost 60 years old, strong as an ox, has a group of guys that he mentors, like doesn't even charge a fee, and
Yeah.
so like.
Yeah, that's terrific. Well, I always say that there are 3 sustaining pleasures in life. One is working hard on something you think is worth doing, that has value, like jiu-jitsu, like your life in jiu-jitsu. The second is learning about something that you think that has value. So it could be learning the techniques of jiu-jitsu, or in your case, learning about people's personalities and what they need to improve themselves. And then the third is sharing what you've gotten through your work and sharing what you've gotten through your knowledge. And to me, that's really fundamentally that's the only thing that you can really get sustaining pleasure from. Everything else is passing. So if I'm coming across as being a really wise and virtuous guy, I want you should go to my webpage where I do my blog, and at the bottom of my blog I have a line that says, "We're not for hypocrisy. I have no good advice to give at all." So don't write me a letter and say, "Oh, you said this, but now you're doing this. You just admitted you up to 2 o'clock in the morning drinking tequila." I woke up at 6. That's what you need to know.
Shifting. When did you make your first million?
1982. I was 32. I had just gone to Florida. I've told the story a million times. I will make it super abbreviated. I got a new job in Florida. We were a publishing business. I was the editorial director. I was making sure the editorial was good and clean and grammatical, blah, blah. And then I took a short course in Dale Carnegie. It was about setting goals. I decided to set some goals and one of my goals was to become rich, to teach, and to be a writer. And so within a year from that, I had made my first million. I created a product, I wrote the promotion for it, I went to my partner, I tried to do a 50-50 deal, he gave me 10% of it. He charged me $100,000. I said, but it's not even, it's just an idea. He goes, yeah, but it's a good idea.
Yeah.
So he made me pay him $100,000 that I didn't have for 10% of the business that, which I got $1 million on. So
Oh,
in
wow.
the first year, he made $10 million. So yeah, that was the beginning, and then it just went from there. I just kept at it, you know.
So your goal was to be rich, write a book.
Be a writer, be rich because I was ashamed of being poor when I was a kid. Be a writer and be a teacher. I come from a family of teachers, so.
So you have accomplished all that, and all the three. Which one are you most proud of?
That's a good question. I think that I think sharing is the thing I'm most proud of. Yeah.
Being a teacher.
Well, teaching is a form of sharing, but like we have a community developed. You know, I have my partners and I built a resort community in Nicaragua, and I built a community center across the street. You know, it's a very nice for all the local people. You know, it cost $1 million. I invested in it, and it's a nonprofit. So that's a real active community center that really works, and we do it right. We don't give things away for free. We work to make sure people benefit and don't get hurt by it. And those are the things that I do. We have cousin camps for our nieces and nephews. The things that I do in terms of sharing my wealth. I have a botanical garden that a nonprofit botanical garden that I'm finishing now. It's 25 acres west of here. It specializes in palm trees, and it's open to the public. And we're opening up I'm opening a museum of Central American art. So there are those kind of sharing things that I'm proud of in a double way. Like I'm proud to share them, and I'm also proud to have put this together to have this place. And of course teaching is sharing too. And like I said, one of my this guy Rich Sheffrin, who is a partner of mine now in a business, he came to me once. He said he was asking me questions about business, and he said, "Listen, Rich, I normally, if you want me to work for you, you have to give me $1 million down plus 25% of your business, blah blah blah." I used to say that because I had too much.
Mm-hmm.
And then I said, or you can just catch me when I'm drinking and I'll tell you the same shit for free. And he did that. For 20 years he did that. But now he's paid me back many times by hooking me up. But so that was, you know, it was fun. It was fun giving him my advice and my experiences, the good and the bad.
So what makes you keep going in business? Not jiu-jitsu, like
Right.
in business. Like what's enough? Like I ask these questions to my friends, my colleagues, people that are around me, like especially when it comes to finances, money, like what's enough?
Well, I mean, in terms of money, you know, you have to, if you're going to be sane, you have to realize that enough is enough. About what year is this? About 6 years ago, I made it. My goal is to give away 80% of my net worth, and I've done that. So I'm worth 20% of what I was, and the rest are in these nonprofits and so on. And so, but I have plenty. I have enough to take care of myself, my family, and I'm not worried about that. So it's not. I can understand some people get into that mindset. You know, how much you die with. You know.
Right.
It just seems kind of funny.
Yeah.
One of my partners in his deathbed, he calls me over, and I'm like, this is a guy I admired and loved so much, and I thought he was going to give me the final wisdom. You know, what is it? He goes, you know that money that Joe owes us? I go, yeah. He goes, make sure you collect it.
Oh,
goes,
wow.
I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? This is the last thing?
These last words?
You guys worth $150 million, and he wants me to collect on a $70,000 IOU as it goes to the... So yeah, I just think that whole thing is kind of funny, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I asked the question because I don't know. Sometimes I just feel like, you know, all of us are just in the grind. Like, of course, like I'm trying to find my passion of doing this kind of stuff to inspire people. But like, obviously, you would need money to have a sustainable life, you know, family. But I mean, at what point does that exceed?
Well, it's good that I think the point is, the answer is to ask the question. As long as you're answering the question whether you recognize there is a point, and you don't want to do it just to accumulate it.
Right.
So this thing I told you about 10 years earlier, I was walking across a bridge in Italy, and up until that moment, accumulating wealth was my number one priority. That's what got me going. I read a whole story about it. I was singularly focused on that, and everything else took second position, including my family. You know, luckily I didn't destroy my relationships, but then I did. No, it was when I turned 50. It was 25 years ago. And
I still got help. I'm right behind it.
I realized I had enough, and so I said, it's not going to be a priority anymore. But I continued to work. I continued to work because I had a business that I wanted to build. And, you know, I like growing. I like when businesses grow. I'm not interested in business where they just want to keep it the way size it is. It's fine. Do that. I'm not interested. You want to grow your business? That's very exciting for me. So to me, that's just as exciting as doing jiu-jitsu. You know, so if I'm going to be in business, I'm going to want to make the business grow, and that's exciting. And trying out different things that I've learned. So to me, business is just as exciting as it ever was. My main motivation in business, when I still start businesses on my own, is if somebody tells me that I have a bad idea. I'm like, okay. The next day, I'm calling somebody up. I got to start this idea. I put this guy wrong.
So for you, it's not really collecting, you know, financial wealth, but it's your drive to.
Yeah, I mean, look, you know, you mentioned the word passion. Everybody talks about passion, follow your passion. I think passion comes after commitment. The first thing you need to do is commit. First thing you need to do, which you addressed, which I think is, you need to recognize, you all need to recognize that making money isn't some immoral, secondary, selfish. It's our fundamental moral responsibility, virtue in our lives, is to pay for our own lives and lives of our dependents. That's our core. Nothing else is more important than that. So going out to work for money is a fundamentally good thing to do. People should be proud of it, and they should do it without shame. Now there comes a point when you're beyond where your needs are met, you know, and that happened to me. I remember this was in 1985. I was making over $100,000 a year, which I don't know what that would be today.
Wow, yeah, that's
$600 or $800, whatever it was. I remember my accountant said to me, "Well, you made it." And I go, "Well, what do you mean I made it?" He goes, "Well, you're making $100,000." He goes, "You don't. That's all you need to make to live a great life." And I go, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Well, you know, what can you do with that? You can find at your house, because I had a house, I mortgaged it, I had a nice little house. You can go out, you can send your kids to, if you wanted to back then, you can't today, private school, you can go out to a restaurant once a week with your family, you can go on a vacation once a year, because everything else is just toys. So you can do it, you're there, you don't need to make any more money." So I remember, I was like, whoa. And he was right. But so you go on and you try to, I've written books about this too, you try not to upscale the secret to maintaining your lifestyle and not getting on that that Ferris wheel is to try to find a house that you're happy with, and don't move into a more expensive neighborhood, because then you're forever chasing.
Yeah.
And
we were talking about that yesterday, Kyle. It's like you keep upgrading and you keep dumping a little bit more, and then you have to go out and get a little bit more to keep fueling the.
And it's not just that you're moving into a house from a $300,000 house to a $3 million house. It's everything in that house is like 10 times more expensive. Yes. When I moved into the first house, I had this couch that we brought over from the old house. I had a $170,000 house. I had this beautiful white couch. It looked great in the living room. Then I brought it over into this $550,000 house. And it looked like ridiculous. It was so small. So my wife and I went out to shop for a couch. And instead of costing, I don't know what that cost, $600, it cost like $3,000. I'm like, I didn't even know you could spend $3,000 on a couch. I mean, how's that possible? And then I'm like, there must be when you're living there, you could look at you go to all the furniture stores that your neighbors know about, you won't see one couch for less than $3,000. Somehow you stepped into a different universe where everything, and your kids' vacations cost more, and the schooling costs more, and the restaurants you go to. So your whole, it just
lifestyle changes.
And and you don't get any more quality from it. You just get, the community that we lived in was a great community. Everybody had what they wanted. The people were interesting. They knew each other. The new community was a gated community. I was commuting to Baltimore while I was there. This shows you what, this will tell you how these communities are. I was commuting every week to Baltimore. And every Monday I come back Friday. And I was with this in first class always, and there was this guy who used to sit next to us, his name was Harry. We became friends. We talk. Like about 9 months into our discussion, I finally said, "So where do you live? You know, you come in. We both come into West Palm Beach." He goes, "I live in Boca." I go, "Really? I do too." I go, "Where?" He goes, "A community called Les Jardins." I'm like, Les Jardins? He was my next door neighbor.
Really?
Yes.
Next
For 8 months, never saw the guy.
Always on the go.
We're on the go, and nobody's outside their homes. Everybody in the gated community, they rush their kids off to different things. And so, you know, yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. And now when I go back to my wife, I mean, these kids were in my house every day. Josh and I forget what the girl's name is. Literally, they were practically like my own children. And I'm 9 months of talking to them twice a week, and my wife was like, "What is wrong with you, man? You never talked about whether you were married, or children?" I'm like, "I don't know, it just never came up."
We talk business.
Right.
Oh, that's awesome. I think we've all read this book here.
Yeah.
Is this one of your...
I'm very proud of that. That's
is...
That book is the book I get the most feedback from readers. I still get 2 or 3 letters a week. People have used it to build their businesses, almost like a blueprint.
Yeah. I read it. I know he's read it. I know he's read it. Yeah. This is a really good book.
Well, I can tell you that I've gotten letters from, spoken to at least 100 people that have told me they've built multi-million-dollar businesses with this book, and even big businesses. Like there's the company's Golden Hippo's one of them. I get guys that come over here that know me through marketing people that come to visit me that have $500 million businesses to say, "Listen, I want you to know this was how I built my business on your books." And then I usually say, 5%, 2%, nothing.
Couple questions. So on this, you have Michael Masterson.
Mm-hmm.
How did that come about? What is this? Is this your surname? What is this?
I was under investigation by the National Narcotics. I was hanging out with Pablo Escobar. We were good friends, you know? And then all of a sudden, people are like, "Well, what's going on?" No, it was that I was teaching some of my friends, including my Jiu Jitsu friends, copywriting, how to write advertising, and 2 of them, including my friend from when I was 6 years old, started making very good money. One of them was making $450 a year, the other was making $600,000 a year, and like 3 years went by, and they were both still living in their apartments, you know. And I was like, "What's going on with you guys?" You know. And they were just blowing all their money. They were doing what we talked about. They got fancy cars. They were doing this. They were, you know. So I go, you know, you got to realize that you're not going to be making big income, and big income doesn't make you rich. It just means. So we had a discussion. I told him that, you know, I said, you need equity. You need to build equity. And that's what the business is. It becomes more valuable when you're sleeping. And so they got it, and so they came back with the idea of starting a school to teach other people copywriting based on what I had taught them. And they started that along with this woman that worked for me at the time, a.k.a. It was called the American Writers and Artists Institute. And that was, I don't know, 30 years ago or something, 25 years or, I don't know how long. Do you know when it was? Eric worked
1999. That's where I worked.
That's when he works, yeah. 27 years ago. So anyway, but I was, at that time, I was in my third retirement, and I was trying to get my short stories and poems published. And this sounds very vain, but I didn't want, I'd already written some books. Is this the first? No, I didn't. I had literary aspirations, like I was going to be a serious fiction writer. I didn't want my name out there as a business writer, because, you know, among the literary, it would be looked down upon. So I said, I'll do it, but we got to come up with a pseudonym. So that's what I did, and one of the guys, one of the 3 people, Paul Hollingshead, he came up with the name Michael Masterson. And since then, of course, there's been untold rumors on the news, internet about, you know.
I like the Pablo Escobar story. Let's go with that one.
Yeah.
Let's go with that one.
So anyway, eventually, I would go to conferences and stuff, and I would speak under Michael Masterson. And then, like, as soon as people go over, "I know you're really Mark Ford. I won't tell it." Like, it's ridiculous. So finally, I said, "I'm just gonna, you know, open this up and
just come out."
Come out. Yeah.
What is one belief you have about business that most people disagree with you on?
Try to approach it. Things I believe about business that sometimes bother people when I say it. I think that there are basically three kinds of employees in business. And I'm going to talk about executives right now. There are people that I call growers, and people that I call tenders, and then people that I call plants.
Okay.
Although I don't call them plants. I never talk about them. But they're everybody else, all the people. So to grow a business, you need a grower to be in charge of the growth of the business. And a grower is somebody that is almost maniacally dedicated to growing the business. And growers are at most 1 out of 100. They're very rare. They stop at nothing to grow. They don't care about the consequences of their growth. It doesn't bother them that as they plow forward that there's all kinds of debris on the sides. And so, but you'll never grow your business without a grower. And so you've got to realize that. A lot of young people that are naturally entrepreneurs themselves and growers, they get their business at a certain point. I've seen this happen at least 20 times. And then they hire somebody from an Ivy League school to run the business. A year later, the business is gone. You know, you can't hire somebody that grew up in Fortune 500 company is not a grower. They're a tender. But you cannot succeed. You can start a business, a big business, and big grow, but you cannot. A grower will not exist in that environment. It's all tenders. A tender is somebody executive that wants to solve problems. You know, there's we're short on inventory, where the pricing is not working out, the copy, the headline doesn't seem to be well. These are extremely important people. You need at least 10, let's say 6, 8, 10 good tenders for every grower to take care of the damage that person does. But these growers, these tenders, have to believe in growth. If they don't, they'll sabotage the grower. So a good grower is worth 100 times. A good grower should be paid 100 times what your average employee has a base salary of $50,000. If you get a grower, you should give them a base salary of what did I say? What a multiple did I just say? 100 times. It's 100 times 50,000. $5 million. He's got to earn $5 million. I wouldn't pay him that much, but you got to pay him a lot of money. But they're worth. I mean, growers they're very rare, and you've got to treat them right, and then tenders. If you have a tender, most tenders don't like growth, and they will work subconsciously or consciously to thwart growth in your business, and they'll tell you every reason why it's not going to work, and if you know, and if you spend too much time listening to them, I mean, Elon Musk is a perfect example of it. He's pure growth. Mm-hmm. He's pure like business id, and he doesn't even, and that's why he's been able to, do things that nobody else could do. So that's one idea I have that usually rubs corporate people the wrong way, and especially when I say that if you work for a corporation, you don't know how to grow a business. You're not even inclined to grow a business because that's not what corporations hire. So when you're in small business, you have to recognize that do not hire anybody from Harvard, Yale, Princeton. They're not going to help you grow your business.
They're tenders.
They're tenders, yeah. The best, and you can have good tenders or you can have bad tenders. The good tenders want you to grow. And I surrounded myself, obviously I think of myself as a grower. When I joined my current business, sales were 8 million. The year later they were 25, the year later they were 100, and then eventually they went beyond $1 billion. So I have criticized people for faults they made, but everything that we did good in that entire 30-year period I attributed to me, that I was behind that. So naturally I give myself credit for all that good. I love language. So. Affirmation, by the way.
Rightfully so.
Yeah.
Next question. Have you made any business deals on the mats? Or at least started it on the mats?
Well, I hope not. I don't know.
Maybe somebody had you mounted with the choke in and be like, hey, we're going to do this deal. Or the other way around?
Well, I'll tell you one thing. I had my first teacher, who we won't mention. He owed me a lot of money. I lent him a lot of money, and I actually had a lien on his property. And he disappeared, and then he found out that I had a lien, and he couldn't sell his property without the bank was going to pay me back. So he called me up in the middle of the night. And he threatened to come back and choke me, but I knew he couldn't. I knew I was already at the level where he couldn't. So it's kind of a jiu-jitsu story. So I said, come on over and give it a try. I don't think you can anyway. So I got my money. But no, I mean, I would say that I've had so many good friendships. There must be at least 20 people that have been my training partners that are working or leading some of the companies that that I'm involved in. Yeah. But one thing I have done is I made most of the business deals I've made in my life were handshake deals, if that's related, not the contracts. Then we don't. Well, it's all about, if you want a relationship in business, you want a long-term relationship.
Sure.
It's not just a transaction. Because if you're going for transactions, it's like you're a bull and you're using your muscle. You're going to get fatigued, and you're
Same thing you
wear
talked
out.
about earlier with
Exactly.
jiu-jitsu.
Right. So you go for the relationship. If you get a good relationship, then if the deal turns out to be not fair, you just change it and make both people happy.
Okay, you're big on mentorship. How important is it, and how do you find a good mentor?
Well, a good question. I mean, I haven't thought enough about it. Most people, when they think about getting a mentor, they think about just reaching out into the universe and getting some successful person to help you. That's not going to happen. The person that's already out there successful that you admire, he already has 30 people that want his mentorship. But I would say this, that if you look closer to home, like if you're working for a business and there's somebody that you think you can learn from who's in a different division, look for that person. It's better to find a mentor that's around your daily environment, because they're going to be able to give you more. There's more contacts, there'll be more help. But in terms of actually striking a deal with a mentor, this is what I would say. This is what I would do. It works on me very easily. You go up to somebody. Let's say you're at a conference, you see somebody. He's not gonna, if you go up to somebody and say, I'd like you to mentor me. It's like, oh, great, that's just what I need. I'm running a $150 million business, and I'm gonna spend my weekends mentoring you. I've never been met you, please give me a break. So, so what you gotta do is you gotta find out, this same advice I give people about getting a job. If you like that person, find out everything you can about the business and his business philosophy, and then find out what is the problem he's trying to solve right now. And then if he's a guy that's written books, don't just go up and say, I read your book. Go up and say, I read your book and I really liked how you said such and such. Then you'll break through, then all the noise goes away. You're 1 in 5% that when you do that. And do not ask for mentorship. Just flatter the person, and then you'll be able to. I mean, for me, my love language is affirmation. I have no other love languages.
Your jiu-jitsu is amazing.
I told my wife, she's so lucky. I said, look, I'm a provider, but all I care about, I don't need to be touched. I don't need your time. Leave me alone. Don't touch me. Don't give me gifts. Whatever the other ones are. Just pat me on the head. I'm like a golden retriever that spits out gold coins. I mean, why wouldn't you just do it? Of course, she doesn't do it.
All right. So, what's taking your time now? Like, what are you excited about?
Well, believe it or not, I've got these 3 major nonprofit foundations that I'm theoretically running. One is this collection of Central American modern art, which I'm very, very proud of and excited about. The other is my botanical garden, and which will soon have more species of palm trees than any other botanical garden in the continental U.S. And then this community center in Nicaragua, along with so those take up a lot of my time. But I'm still very much involved in my main business. I was on the phone 6 hours with the quarterly meetings and so on with them. I've got 3 or 4 small businesses that I still am attached to. I write a blog. I write probably at least 10,000 words a week, which means I'm writing a book every 6 weeks. So I literally, I mean, I love working, I love learning, and I love sharing. So there you go. I mean, that's what I love to do. I love Elon Musk because he is naturally what I am training myself to be. Completely asocial, uncaring, happy person that's always creating businesses.
What legacy do you hope to leave behind, both in business and the business realm and in your personal life?
Yeah, well, my legacies are actually have been physically incorporated. This botanical garden will be here forever. The community center, it's already completely funded. It's self-sustaining. We service thousands of people in the area. It'll be there forever. We developed a resort community there, 3,000 acres. That will be, it revived that whole section of Nicaragua. That'll be there forever. We have hundreds of houses there. So I already have done a lot of things like that already. Mm-hmm. So, no, I don't, I think that's already done. I just hope that only the right people come to my funeral. I got some of my old guys from my drinking days that if they come, they'll tell stories that just as long as Eric knows who they are. I'll make sure Eric will not let them in the room, and everything will be fine.
It'll be security.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, those were my legacy. So once you have those things built, you don't even need to think about your legacy anymore. That's what I've done. Now I just can be in the here and now. That's what they say. You're supposed to be in the here and now. You've heard that. Well, guess what? When you get my age, you automatically go there anyway. Because you don't remember what happened yesterday. You have no idea what you're supposed to do tomorrow. So you walk around in the here and now. It's great.
I can't wait. I can't wait. All right, one last question. If you lost every dollar and had to rebuild, but could only bring one skill from your arsenal, what would you choose and why?
Yeah. Well,
Rebuild everything.
I would say, in terms of building a business, I would say the core knowledge of how to sell things. Yeah, that's
selling.
How to sell. Yeah. The principles of selling. Without that.
I heard a story, not a story, but a saying like, every day you're selling.
Yeah.
Whether you're in business or not.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You're selling.
And you're either selling positively or negatively. Yeah.
And when I heard that, I was like, well, that's right.
Yeah. No. Absolutely. Yeah.
You're dressing up
dress,
for
how you
somebody.
speak, how
You're selling.
Yeah.
Every minute you're selling.
And every decision that you make, you can say, I've written on this subject, is a decision to get poor or richer. Every decision. The decision to everything you just said, what to wear. Do I pick up a check? I'm going out to lunch with my boss. Do I pick up the check or not?
Right.
That's a decision.
Yeah.
Make the right decision, it could make you richer. But if you're always if you're always looking for the short money, then you're going to be in trouble. So every decision you make,
Yeah, we're buying you dinner tonight. So.
All right.
Your power of one concept has influenced many copywriters, right? Mm-hmm. How can this principle be applied to storytelling in Jiu Jitsu? Because this is what we're doing, MatMade storytelling.
Absolutely. Well, that the principle of one in storytelling means that, principle of one in anything means that people, if you're trying to persuade somebody of anything, or even tell a story, in a way stories are persuasion tools. I mean, it's a fundamental way of persuading. We've been doing that since the Stone Ages, using stories to teach and persuade. But the listener or the reader can only take in so many stories at a time, so many ideas at a time. And if you try to do too many, and I understand the urge to try to do a lot of things, sell a lot of different. Plus, you get this, and then you're going to get this, and now, did I tell you this? And you sit there and you're kind of overwhelmed, and you lose. So the most powerful thing, discipline, is to focus on one thing at a time. Now, it doesn't mean that if you have 3 benefits, if your business has 3 or 4 or 5 distinct benefits that you've identified, that you wouldn't sell all of them. You will, but you sell one of them at a time. And so you say, let's say you're doing a story like you're interviewing somebody like me, you say to yourself, what's the one thing out of everything that went on, what's the one thread that I want to take out of it? Instead of saying we covered 6 or 8 things, And here's what it sounds like a good idea, but it's not. When you do things like that, if you look on the internet, there are, or in any form of expository writing, there are fundamentally two forms. The bullet form, 10 things, and then the one idea. So the 10 things immediately get most eyeballs, like 10 musicians Ringo Starr could withstand. You're gonna look at it, or 10, 5 jiu-jitsu moves that you'll never work, or whatever. Those things are easy to make up and they get eyeballs, but they don't get you deep because you're doing a bunch of things at a superficial level. It's much stronger if you want to develop a deeper relationship to take one idea and to spend your own time thinking about it and then present that one idea. So, for example, we've talked about probably 10 different things here, but there might have been, when you go back and look it over, you could say, the one thing that I think I want to focus on here is Mark's idea of sharing or what have you, And then you go through the whole thing again, and from that point of view, and then now you're selecting all the right bits. And when you're editing the story, you're editing it accordingly, and then it becomes a powerful rhetorical representation of that one idea. So,
2 years ago, you spoke with Reggie.
Yes.
Okay, and this is in quotes. 2 years ago, you told us, don't do GNC jump. Build something really good, something that makes sense for the BJJ lifestyle, and make it subscription based. We took to that heart, and this is Tiger Blood.
Oh, okay.
All right, so it's our first premium formula under Immune Ready and MatMade, which is our brand. It's focused on immune health, gut health, and hydration. The 3 pillars we all need after getting crushed on the mats, right? So check it out.
Nice.
Look at that.
So is this a?
It's a recovery drink.
Okay, oh, it's a recovery drink.
Right.
Okay.
So it's stick packs in there.
Okay.
It's made up of beta-glucan. Do you know what beta-glucan is?
No.
Beta-glucan is basically immune support, immune booster.
Okay.
It has probiotics,
Right.
vitamins,
Right.
potassium, and so it's safe for kids. And we brought the old school flavor, coconut watermelon, which is
All right. And what other
Tiger's
flavors
Blood.
does it come in?
right now we have this, and
Right.
we have actually peach mango. But this right here is Matt made our specific
I
collaboration.
see.
It says,
Right.
roll longer, recover faster.
Nice.
So we wanted you to try.
Well, good.
We wanted to
Right
try.
now. So when Jeremiah, right here.
Oh, you want me to try it on now? Okay,
Yes.
fine, sure. All right.
No sugar.
And you drink. Is there a recommended amount that you're supposed to drink? Or?
You can drink the entire bag if you want.
You drink one of them a day.
I see. Okay.
Mix it with water.
Give it a taste.
It's delicious.
Right?
Wow.
That's the most
Because
important
when
thing.
you said, did you say coconut there?
Coconut watermelon.
Yeah. Oh, the watermelon. Because I don't
Yeah.
like. I didn't want to say I don't like coconut, but this is
Yeah.
delicious.
Yes,
This
it is, right?
watermelon.
When people think about healthy, they think, it's not going to taste good. But that's the beauty of it is this tastes good.
This is delicious.
So,
Really? Wow.
Well, this is going to be yours. So
Okay.
that's
all right,
yours.
All right. When is it, you got a reorder coupon? I'm ready to go.
Hey, we're going to have it on auto ship too. Don't worry.